the marketing people or business people or business consultant, they will be providing some kind of document like this what has been shown here. So based on this document, the technical details have to be extracted. Okay, so how to extract the technical detail and what you have to do it. So that is what we had discussed yesterday. Okay, based on the product request provided by the stakeholders, so we have to list out the objects required for this particular application. We have to list out the services. Object means what? Data inputs normally. Okay, services means what? The modules or the functionalities or simply functions and the constraints. So what are all the limitations, how the system will be performing, all this has to be collected, and that is what we had discussed yesterday and we stopped here. Okay, now in today's class, we are just going one step ahead. That is the quality function deployment. See, now what we had done is we had collected the requirements, okay, and we had listed out the objects, services, and the constraints. Now we have to focus towards quality. So generally, in a software development, the ultimate objective is quality product. Okay, anyone can develop the product, that is different, but whether the product is qualified, whether it is a quality product. So that is the difference what we are making from the other competitors. Okay, so here the idea is what, whatever the customer is speaking about their particular requirements, that we have to convert into technical details with respect to the software what we are going to develop. So here, how you are doing this transfer? Okay, so how we are collecting these requirements is dependent on this factor. So based on the collection of requirements only, we can just think about whether it is a normal requirement or whether it is an expected requirement or whether it is some other requirement. So this we have to now consider how to translate the need of customers effectively. Okay, so for that we are having another conceptual framework called as QFD shortly. Otherwise, we are calling it as quality function deployment. So this particular concept concentrate on maximizing the customer satisfaction. Okay, with respect to the software engineering development, so how you are going to satisfy the customer ultimately. For that, this framework is required. So what it does? So it identifies actually three types of requirements. That is what I told you just now. It is normal requirement. So normal requirement means what? Generally, if you are discussing with any customer related to your project, related to your software which you are going to develop, so normally there are some standard requirements. So we shall also call it as standard requirements. So which will reflect the objectives, goals for the particular system. And if these requirements are available, okay, the customer is satisfied. So this is a generic requirement which we have to consider. Then comes the expected requirement. Expected requirements means the customer could not able to specify the requirement directly. Okay, so that means he could not express it. So it is implicitly understood the customer cannot understand this or cannot able to express this. So we have to add this kind of requirements for on behalf of the customer. That means we have to explicitly provide this facility. For example, the customer will be telling my application has to work like this. For example, again we shall take out the student management system. Okay, for Amrita. Under the student management system, the customer is Amrita here. Okay, because for Amrita only we are developing this application from the company side. So the Amrita is expecting like the requirement as you already spoke about that. Okay, what are all the things you spoke about? We are in need of attendance, we are in need of mark details, we are in need of course details. But ultimately what you fail to convey is about the placement details. So that I spoke about lastly. So after that you realize the fact, oh, the placement is also an important requirement that we forgot to explain to the company. So this is the consideration. So this is expected but not revealed by the customer explicitly. So this is also an important requirement because of the placement only what happens, the college is known to everyone, so that the students in future, many of the students can join Amrita. So they have been, the particular customers have been attracted to Amrita for because of providing the good placements. So this is what we are talking about, the expected requirement. Okay, then comes another one more requirement which is exciting. So beyond the customer's expectation, if a software team can provide some additional requirements, okay, so the customer may be getting surprised. Oh, this requirement I didn't expect, I didn't give at all, but you had provided this facility to us. Oh, I'm happy. Okay, so this is exciting requirements. Now my question is to everyone, if you are developing an application or if you are considering yourself as a customer, sorry, you are considering yourself as a customer, okay, what is the requirement that is considered to be excited for student management system? Shall anyone tell me? Any one requirement, or if you know multiple requirements also is fine. Exciting requirements. As a customer, now you are the stakeholder, you are the students. So you are just looking into the student management system application that software is in front of you. Okay, you are just working with all the details like course details, mark details, attendance details, placement details. Okay, apart from this, what requirement will make you get excited? Shall anyone tell me? Please, this is a generic question only. I want everyone to interact as this is a theory subject. Okay, so this kind of discussions will help you to think out of the box, or it will help you to think laterally. It is important in software engineering. It is not like we are just studying and writing something. Okay, that is not the way how you have to think about. You have to think something different. Please tell me.
Sir, notifications related to any club activities, at what time they'll conduct, where they'll conduct, etc.
My dear student, you just discussed about this yesterday itself. Fine, it is coming under extracurricular activities. Already you discussed this. So I think by this time, no one will get excited.
Sir,
My dear friend, are you really getting excited on this? Tell the truth. Okay, right, fine. Something,
sir,
yeah,
interview experiences of seniors.
that is coming under placement.
sir, a
Exciting.
module to interact with the teachers, like the instructors, course instructors,
See,
within
these,
the app only.
see, don't be so such kind of a traditional thing. Okay, think laterally. See, these things are normal. Generally, see, the interacting with the faculties and getting some discussions are all normal requirements only. Are expected also to some extent. What made make you get excited? That is the question.
Booking
Sir, like
halls.
Yeah, yeah. Tell
in the
me.
in
Huh?
the
Booking halls.
starting in
Huh?
some of sir, in the starting in some of the apps we get to something like this option is this option is this for the starting. Like if I'm a new student, I get into college and I register for the app and I don't know about the app, then I will get like notification this is this and this is something like that.
See, that is actually not a requirement. Okay. See, that means you are getting some app means that is a final product you are getting into it. Okay. So I'm not talking about the
Booking
final
rooms.
product and the functionality of the product. That is what you are talking about. Okay. Yeah, please come out, come out.
Sir, booking rooms for hostels.
My dear friend, are you really exciting, getting excited? Tell me the truth. That's what I told you previously also. See,
Yes.
regarding the hostel, no one will get excited because the reason you know, I don't want to tell.
Sir, it could be something like plotting a performance graph for students, like plotting a graph depending on their performance, like showing if it is increasing or decreasing.
Something you are saying, but I couldn't grab you properly. My dear students, you are all students generally. On which particular aspect you will be getting excited if you are looking into this application? Oh, this is also available. My goodness, like that you have to think.
Perhaps
Later.
birthday wishes or something.
Okay, okay. Okay, that see, student management system, birthday wishes, okay, fine. Because they are getting registered with the date of birth also of each and every student. So by default, suddenly if they are getting the birthday wishes on that particular date, they'll be getting excited, fine. But yeah, I will come to later why I'm not considering this as a requirement. Requirement in the sense means related to the uh, academic part or student management system means what? It is something like we have to think in terms of the objective of the particular application. The objective of the application is to just provide some facilities for the students in terms of academic or in terms of placements like that. Okay, this requirement I consider, my dear student, whatever you said, birthday wishes are also part of it, but that requirements is categorized under another thing. I will let you know after finishing this topic. But as of now, it is good. I accept this is good, but I want still you are not getting excited.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
sir, like a map, like for example, if it is a big campus and suppose there are many reading halls in different places in the campus, so we can have a map and that map can have where and all the vacancies are there in the reading halls. That is
See, you are saying this. Will you get really excited on this part? I'm asking you. You are coming to college, you are looking into the application, you are looking the map details like this, whatever you said. Are you really getting excited? Okay, this facility is there, fine, good. But are you getting excited? That's my thing. Okay, I will reveal one thing.
Sir,
You just, yeah.
Sir, like in Coimbatore campus, if we open that website, no sir, they'll show us the whole way. Like we can walk through the campus and go, something like that.
Virtual campus.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, my dear students. Okay, I'm happy that many of you are coming out with a different kind of answers, considering these are all the particular things what we are getting excited. Yeah, true. Some of the students may be getting excited based on this fact, whatever you said, but like birthday wishes, virtual campus, moving along with it. And someone said specifically about something performance graph or some that. So some of the details even I couldn't just imagine. Okay, you are thinking differently. That is fine. But I will just relate to the requirements. What I am talking about here is one is studies course. Okay. So another one is the mark details and everything which are we are considering as a normal requirements, and the placement is something like expected. So apart from your degree, what you are studying, internally you are having various facilities. So many of you, what you are extracting, what you are speaking about is all the facilities what can be provided in this campus. So that is one way or another way. It is present in all other campuses also. Okay. For example, if you are going for some other, not campuses, some other colleges, sorry, some other colleges or universities, they are also having their own facility, library facility is there, hostel facilities is there. So this is common between the colleges. Okay, so if you are thinking about the hostel management system of Amrita, comparatively there may be a better hostel campus, hostel management system in other colleges. Sorry, this is recording. Probably don't reveal outside. Okay, so now these are all the common facilities what we are discussing about. Okay, but just think about the international collaborations. That is, after finishing your degree, if you can go and join in foreign universities with the help of your UG degree, like MS collaboration with foreign leading universities, what is the requirement? Whether we can consider this as an exciting? Just think about many universities, foreign universities are collaborating with Amrita. That you know. Okay, suppose if you are having that opportunity, even many of our your seniors has been entering into this kind of universities for studying MS in abroad. So this kind of requirement, are you not feeling as exciting? Something different from other campus, other colleges or universities? Yeah, please tell me. Whether you are accepting this at least. Yeah, please, someone shall tell. This is a kind of requirement because after finishing your graduation, okay, you want to study higher studies. You want to go for abroad. So everyone is liking to go abroad for higher studies and to settle in a good country, okay, with a pleasant job and salary. This is another kind of requirement. Ultimately, your career is growing, your academic is growing. But instead of studying here, whether there is an opportunity to study in foreign universities under with Amrita collaborations, so that is a kind of requirement which is considered to be excited normally. Even personally, I felt, okay, what I am saying is, what I felt is this kind of collaborations is not available in many of the other colleges. Some of the other colleges are affiliated with some universities, some government university. They are not having that provision because that government university, for example, in Bangalore, Karnataka itself, we are affiliated with Visvesvaraya Technical University. In Tamil Nadu, it is with Anna University. So the Anna University or VTU are having their own policies. So coming out of these policies or in order to cope up with these policies, it is very difficult to collaborate with foreign universities directly. But in terms of Amrita being a deemed university, there is a flexibility. So because of that flexibility, it is easy to join with your basic degree into MS in any of the foreign universities. So there is a student exchange program here. Even our MTech students, MTech data science students are now, two of the students are now in foreign universities. Now they are studying there. Last year they were in this campus, first year. Now second year they went to these universities. Okay, so now they are studying there. So this is a kind of requirement which you would not predict it initially. Okay, so that expectation is beyond your limit because you normally what you will think after finishing the degree, okay, I'm going for some placements, I'm getting good job opportunities, fine. But this is something it is beyond your expectation, which the Amrita generally could provide. Okay, this is one thing. And another important exciting requirement is the collaboration with the companies in terms of hackathon. Okay, so now could you think about what is that hackathon? Could you be able to think about what I am speaking about? What is happening in our college, in our campus now, in this week? Or
Amrita Honeywell Hackathon.
Yeah. So then that Honeywell is collaborating with Amrita to conduct this hackathon, and they are providing some good prizes or else some kind of collaboration also in future, probably. So last year it was successful because our campus had done this. Many other campuses came to Amrita Bangalore and done this job. Okay, so and some prizes has also been announced and it was given to the respective achievers. So this kind of collaborations will make you to work with the company closely on the real-time projects. Okay, it is not that you are studying and getting marks and coming out. You have to participate in this kind of event and get some idea on what the company is expecting. Directly you can speak with them. They will be just reviewing your projects. So this facility is another important thing. It will help you for your future placements also. Because what the company is expecting from your product, from your application, that you are directly speaking with them. So Honeywell is a leading company, but kindly consider Honeywell is not only a software company basically. Okay, it is actually an automation industry providing applications, software applications for any kind of manufacturing products, control system products. So this is a kind of integrated discipline also. So this is what we have to consider as the exciting requirements. Okay, so generally speaking, these three types of requirements can be achieved by means of QFD. So using QFD, only we can able to span the entire process of engineering. It is not only software. Yeah, sorry. It is not only related to software engineering. Quality function deployment can be invoked on any kind of engineering activity or process. Okay, so that is what we have to think about. But however, what we have to consider is these QFD concepts are applicable especially to the requirement elicitation. So, under the particular requirement engineering activities, the primary focus is on elicitation. That you can understand from all these discussions what we are doing. Okay, so this is the way how we can think about QFD. And moving to the further details, we are having some three kind of deployment under QFD. One is the function deployment by default. So we have to determine the value of each and every function. See, for example, if you are developing an application, there may be some 5 modules or 10 modules or even 500 modules. What is the value of each and every module, whether it is really required or not? So that is what we are talking about, the function deployment. Then comes the information deployment. Here only you are identifying the data object for the system. What data objects shall be used? What kind of events has been initiated? For example, how we can plan for this, I will tell you. So you are just starting with your software engineering project that has been given to you. In all these projects, so all are different projects, as you know, some 12 projects are there. One particular application or one particular module or function is very much common. That is for the login module or login management. So here, what is the data objects and events for this particular system? So everyone will write username, password, and finally you will be having some submit button or OK button or cancel button. So this submit, OK or cancel represents the events that has to be invoked for the system. Now, how you are providing the quality on this information deployment after typing your username and password, that we have to see. Because all the 12 projects have the same functionality. Everyone is having the login module as the first component or first module. Then how will you differentiate? Okay, so that is what we have to look into. So that is the way how we have to consider the quality. Okay, so the requirement is given in the use case itself directly. For each and every project, the use case has been provided, what has to be delivered, what has to be given, everything is directly given. That requirement are normal and expected. Now the question is how you are going to use or how you are going to think about the exciting requirements. Just for login management, I am asking. Okay, so for login management, what we are going to develop, there is an exciting requirements which you can plan within your team. Okay, this requirement I am not expecting. Okay, as a customer, I am not expecting, I am not considering it as the normal requirement because already normal requirement has been given to you. Only thing what I am not having is exciting requirement. What I told you here, beyond my expectation, beyond the customer's expectation. Let me see, there are some 23 or 24 project batches available. All batches are having this login module. Okay, so I want to see how you are going to make the customer excited. Okay, so let me see. So this is what we are talking about, the quality function deployment. Then comes the task deployment. Task deployment means what? How the system should behave within that environment. Sometimes the system will work in the experimental setup. Okay, that means it will work in your laptop. But if once I ask you to just install the system, install that particular application in my laptop with a different platform or operating system, it will not work. So you have to find out the behavior of the system within the specific environment, what we have to think about. Then comes another important task of this QFD is value analysis. So yes, you have to analyze the value of the system. Okay, so what is the relative priority of requirements during each of the 3 deployments? So based on the function deployment, what is the value you have to consider? Based on the information deployment, what value you have to plan, and based on the task deployment also, what are all the values. So this value will make the customer satisfied ultimately. That is what this key of D can also be termed as voice of the customer. Okay, or customer voice table. So that means Q of D will provide the details what the customer is expecting. So that is the reason why this key of D is called as the voice of customer. Okay, right. Now, after understanding about the Q of D, now we have to go to the next level. That means your requirements are all gathered. We had understood about the system functions and features. We know about the vision and mission of the particular application, what we are going to develop. The objective is known. Now we have to materialize. Okay, that means what? We have to move into the technical details. Okay, so the technical details is not that much easy to move on. So we had collected the functions and features. Now the question is how to make these function and features to be technically considered. Technically it can be translated or transferred because there are different stakeholders. Okay, so customer is not a single person, I told you already. Okay, so customer is what? Who are providing this particular software project for the company, but they are not the ultimate users of the product. The users of the product may be different. I am talking about the end users. Okay, now again for this I will take the same example, student management system. This student management system will be used by students. That is what we are thinking about. But they can be used by the faculties, teachers. They can be used by the administrative people like accountant or clerks because they are just considering the other areas. Okay, like fees collection. Okay, and what we can say, allocating rooms in hostels. Okay, so like that there are other activities. So that administrative people are also using the same software. So there are different classes of users. So how each and every users are going to interpret the system, going to use the system. So accordingly, whether we can able to convert the system or translate the system into technical activity. So for that, you have to do some initial task. So what you have to do is you have to create a set of scenarios, okay, so which we are calling as user scenario. That means we are making the system compatible for the users. Okay, so the system should be usable. So for this, we are going to the next level, that is you are going to get ready with the use cases. How the system will be used. Okay, so that details will be provided under this user scenario. And how the system will be used is the description what we are talking about as use cases. So now we have to go to the developing the use cases. Okay, so the developing the use cases will help the system to interact with the users. But before going to that developing the use cases, I am having another case study for you. Okay, because before going to the use case, we have to discuss one more topic or one more concept that I will explain you here. You shall see this particular diagram. You can understand how users see the programmers. Okay, so the programmers is like a beast. Okay, who is doing something, because the users are not knowing what these programmers are doing. Now how the programmers see the users, that is also the case. The programmers are just developing the application in a particular format or style, but the users are not knowing that format. They may be using some different ways. Okay, they may be using just in an unorganized way. So that is what the way how the programmers are looking into the user. They may be wondering, I had developed like this, why they are using like this. Okay, so normally it will happen. Okay, so now we shall see this case study. I just expect some, I will be giving some 3 to 4 minutes, okay, time. You just look on to the case study. Based on the case study, I will ask some questions. You just study this case study. Are you studying it?
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine, fine. Okay, now time up. What you understood from this case study? Shall anyone tell me? Sir, please, someone shall tell me. What?
Based on the use case, the thing also differs, like the security, all that.
First of all, one point I have to share. See, I never started discussing on the use case. I just told you about what we are going to the next topic. That is what we are going to see hereafter. That is developing the use cases. Before discussing that use cases, okay, I have to think about some requirements that has been left out. Some particular terms related to the requirements. That is what I am talking about. So don't connect with use case. This is a separate slide. So this slide is not directly linked here. Okay. So this is all about the requirements only. But my question is with respect to the, see, this is the case study again provided by some business manager or consultant. As a technical people or software development team, what requirements you can consider for this Mencare system, and what you could understood from this? That is my question. So don't speak about use cases now. Any other student? Or else you can also answer, no problem. Saganava?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
It
So-
basically tells how important maintaining proper records is. Because if the records are not maintained properly, they might end up telling the treatment for some other patient's problem, and then it will be a problem for the patient and the worker as well, the staff.
Very good. Okay, so you just caught the actual objective. Okay, so we have to maintain the patient record, okay, securely and confidentially. That is one important task, because this is not like a general patient management system of or any hospital management system application. One thing you have to think about. So this Medcare system is for the patients suffering from mental health problems. Okay, generally there is one particular ethics everyone should know. So any kind of hospital management system should not reveal their patient's disease outside. Patient data should not be given directly. Okay, for example, as a student, if you want to develop some application, software application for related to the medical applications or related to the medical domain to collect the data set regarding various diseases or various particular patient details like that. You have to download this data set generally from the authorized websites. They will be posting this kind of data set of the particular persons without revealing their patient data or personal data directly. And even if you are approaching the hospitals for collecting the data, they will not give just like that. They should not give. That is important. So everything should be maintained confidentially. That is a general medical ethics which all the particular doctors or hospitals should follow. They should not give the patient details, patient disease details to the public. Provided for experimental purpose or some kind of project details, as a student, if you are asking me, they will ask some official letter from the university or college, then you can submit the letter. You can just request the letter from the principal or head of the department, and you shall submit the letter to the hospital, and then only they will provide it that too for some kind of lab or experimental purpose only. So this is ultimately available already. But this Medcare system is something more, what we can say, more critical. Okay, why it is critical means it is talking about the details of the mental health patients. Okay, so that is what there is a word given like this sentence. It is separate from a more general patient record system. So general patient record system is okay. So to some extent we can consider that is a normal thing. But this mental health problem patient details record should be having more detailed information, and it should be maintained with respect to the laws. Okay, so that is what they had given here. Yeah, fine. And we are, as you Sagana rightly said about the security is an important factor. Okay, so all this has to be considered for this Medcare system. That is fine. Now, based on this document or this particular narration, what are the requirements you have to consider? Okay, that is important. As it has been underlined, so I'll be directly explaining. Okay, so as it is underlined, attended by patients. The system is designed for use in clinics. Attended by patients means what? The patient data is one requirement, generally everyone knows. And record details, the patient record details as is also a kind of requirement, you know. And the another particular details is underlined like maintained by staff treating the patients. Staff treating the patients means what? The people involved in that hospital. Okay, they may be the doctors or nurses or administrative people. So they are having this particular patient details. So for some kind of activity. So this analysis you have to make it for what type of requirements we have to what requirements we have to consider. In this particular analysis, what requirements in the sense means you have to categorize the requirements into two things or two types. One requirement is functional requirement and another requirement is non-functional requirement. Okay, so these details, whatever has been shown in this case study, generally, so we have to think about the patient attendance, we have to think about the patient record, we have to maintain the details about the doctors treating the patient. All these are coming under the functional requirements generally. So this is common. Okay, so as a software team, if you are just having this kind of particular case study or some kind of narration or document from the business consultant, immediately you have to just focus on these two requirements only. You have to set it out. So what are the functional requirements? What are the non-functional requirements? Functional requirements represent the behavior of the system by default. Okay, so all the requirements under functional requirement is mandatory. They are supposed to be done. So that is explicitly known. But the non-functional requirements are very critical and it is difficult to extract from this case study directly. For example, let me consider the one particular non-functional requirement. What is the downtime for this particular MENCARE system? Here the question is, downtime means what is the downtime? That is the question. For example, the system is running 24 hours. Okay, because in hospital, some of the application has to run forever. As you know, most of the corporate hospitals, wherever you are going, at any time there may be some kind of emergencies. Patients are coming in the midnight also, that you know. So this system has to be functioning at each and every situation, or that there is no specific time limit. This system should not work from between 9 to 5 or 8 to 6. Okay, that is not the case. It should work continuously for 24/7. So that you know. So, but any system cannot work like that. That also you know. There is some specific downtime for 5 seconds or 3 seconds or 10 seconds like that. It depends upon the particular application what we are talking about, the nature of application. So this downtime is one important thing, but requirement. But this requirement is not considered to be functional requirement. Why? Because see, just before I am talking about this downtime, no one knows or no one predicts this kind of requirement. So based on this case study, what you are considering is, oh, these are all the requirements I have to collect. That is the list already you have prepared in your mind. Whatever list you have prepared in your mind is functional requirement generally. But what I am talking about is the downtime, performance, okay, and security also. Security is considered to be a non-functional requirements. Why it is non-functional requirement? See, whether we have to secure the system or not, it all depends upon the hospital management and the particular user who is using the system. Okay, so hence it is considered as a non-functional requirement. Okay, so otherwise the system has to do some basic functionalities, and these functionalities already you have predicted. Let us see. Okay, so now what I am talking about is the functional versus non-functional requirement. So how the system should react or how the system should behave. Okay, and it also state what the system should not do. So from our MENCARE system, you can see the functional requirements. And a user shall be able to search the appointment list of all clinics. The system shall generate each day for each clinic a list of persons to attend appointments that day. And each staff member using the system shall be uniquely identified by each number. So these are all the basic functionalities or functional requirements which we have to think about. Coming to the non-functional requirements, this represents the constraint on the services. See, functional requirements represent statement of services the system should provide, whereas non-functional requirements provide the constraints. Constraints means when the system will work, when the system will need some update. So that is what I am mentioning, timing constraints. I told you it should not be like 8 to 6 or 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, the system will shut down. That is not a good way. So, but that is not considered as a functional requirement, but it is a non-functional requirement. Reliability of the system, response of the system, storage of the system. All are non-functional. Okay, so these non-functional requirements are generally applicable to the entire system as a whole, whereas functional requirements represent for each and every module, each and every feature. Okay, so that is the difference what we can make it out. And it is also more critical to find out the non-functional requirement, because functional requirement directly you can able to extract here, but non-functional requirement is very critical to find out. Okay, so that is what we have to think about. See, for example, in Mencare system, systems will be available to all the clinics during the normal working hours. So that means what? The system is available between 8:30 to 5:30. After that, the system will not be available. That is one constraint. Okay, that is what I am talking about, the non-functional. And also downtime. Okay, so downtime should not exceed 5 seconds. And then comes the authentication. That means the system should be authenticated by means of providing some login credentials. That is also non-functional. Okay, so these are all the some of the things which we are considering non-functional. And there are a list of metrics for specifying non-functional requirement. You can see numerous lists are there, numerous metrics are there, like speed, performance, size, okay, training time, reliability, probability of unavailability, okay, robustness, portability, all are considered to be non-functional. So this is very difficult to identify from a particular system. Okay, so this is also required for a software engineer to differentiate or to categorize between the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements. Okay, so with this I will conclude. In tomorrow's class I will be discussing about the development of use cases. Okay. So if there is any doubt, you can ask me.